And David, what can we expect from Biden's visit to Europe?
Well, we had a bit of a preview yesterday from Jake Sullivan, the national security advisor at the White House. He talked about Biden further extending the sanctions against Russia, which, if you think about it, is quite significant, as those sanctions are already hitting the Russian economy very hard. And you ask what else can be done, but scope for further sanctions, possibly on trade relations. Sullivan said there'll also be a discussion of furthering the security assistance to Ukraine that seems to have been pretty effective, and naturally discussion about the humanitarian crisis with so many hundreds of thousands of refugees, millions of refugees already leaving Ukraine, putting pressure on those European countries. Meanwhile, Joe Biden left the White House this morning. He was asked about the meeting. He said he's going to wait until he's actually there to preview it, but he was also asked about the threat of chemical weapons being used by Vladimir Putin in Ukraine. And he said, I think it's a real threat. So I'm sure that will be on the agenda as well, along with a broader narrative, really, about what is NATO for? Where does it stand in this new era? Its Secretary General Stoltenberg has been talking about that. I think there'll be some philosophy around where does NATO go from here, facing this very new and concrete threat.
Speaking of Jens Stoltenberg, earlier, David, he spoke and said that one of NATO's main objectives was to keep this conflict from spreading beyond Ukraine's borders, effectively, once again, saying no to that no-fly zone Ukraine has been asking for.
Yes, I think that's paramount. I'm sure there'll be that awareness of Zelensky's call to close the sky, as he puts it. The US and NATO seems pretty united in ruling out a no-fly zone just because of the sheer risk of escalation. And you didn't talk about the danger of triggering World War III. So far, I think many would say they've found a fairly good balance between avoiding that while also providing Ukraine with as much support as they possibly can. But certainly they're wary of that danger of it spreading into neighboring Poland, which, of course, is also a country that Biden is going to visit. And I think you'll hear a lot of phrases like ironclad alliance and defending every inch of NATO territory. This meeting will be about sending a warning to Putin that if you get any further at all and encroach on NATO territory, then we'll be living in a very different world.
David, thank you very much for the update. David Smith reporting there for us from Washington.